Okay, this is a quick description on how to wire up the feeder with just the basic wiring. As you can see, our incoming power comes into the top of the contact here. We've got a position for ground, L1, L2. Could use an L3, but we're only going to outgo with two of the phases if it's three-phase, because we're looking for, in this case, 220 single phase. So that's where the power would feed into, our incoming power. The next thing we need to take a look at would be our feed signals coming from the press. The way the system works is we need to see an input coming from 8, which is our 24 volts, going through your relays to send a 24 volt signal back to us. The feed signal wires into terminal 110, and that should come on the upstroke of the press approximately at 9 o'clock or 270 degrees and stay on continuously till about 3 o'clock or 90 degrees. If that feed signal is interrupted prior to finishing a feed length, you'll get a sync fault. So that's the first signal. The second signal will come to terminal 112, which is called the reset, and that should come on at about 170 degrees and go off at 180 degrees, roughly. The next item in here is some interfaces between the feeder and the press. And there are contacts here, K2, K3-1, and K3. Start with K3. K3 energizes when the feeder's in auto, and anytime the feeder should drop out of auto, be it via from batch count complete or a fault of any sort, K3 will turn off. So we want to tie K3 in. There's dry contact relays on the bottom here, one normally open, one normally closed, but they should interrupt the auto cycle of the press but not affect the inch or the single. The last one here is K2. What K2 is used for is for the continuous single stroke. And what that's for is if you're going to single stroke the press with a long feed length. So in order to activate K2, you have to run a jumper from terminals 8, which is 24 volts, over to terminal 114, and that'll activate continuous single stroke. And what that'll do is K2 will energize at the end of a feed length and stay on until reset. So what that does is we complete our feed length, and then at the end of the length, K2 energizes, which should give a signal to the press to say it's okay to make a stroke. And then at the completion of that stroke of the press, K2 will turn off, and then the feed cycle starts all over again.